Hey everyone, welcome back to M&M PTE NAATI. This is Manmohit. So guys, in today's video, I am going to share with you all 10 of the most common mistakes that people make out there for their speaking section. And the problem in this exam is that if you make these mistakes in your speaking section, they will not only impact your speaking, but that will have an impact on your reading and also towards your listening section, because we know there are certain topics which does score distribution, score sharing. So we need to understand what these mistakes are. Now you may not be making all 10 of them, but even if you're making one or two mistakes out of these mistakes that I'm going to share, the list that I'm going to share, then yes, you can amend those so that you can get that extra marks that you are unable to get as of now. Now, just before I start, if you need help and support with your PTE exam, if you need online coaching from us, me and Mohit personally, we do give one-on-one feedback all 7 days a week. You can get in touch with us on WhatsApp. The number is there in the description on the screen, or simply search for M&M PTE NAATI on Instagram or Facebook. Message us. We'll have a chat with you and we'll discuss how we can help you to clear these exams in the very first go. And that goes for PTE Academic or PTE Core. And same goes for NAATI Hindi, NAATI Punjabi and NAATI Gujarati as well. Online coaching available with us, me and Mohit. Contact us and we'll get started. Now, let's get started with this one. Talking about these 10 mistakes, the very first one is speaking too slowly or too quickly. Now, speed plays a major role. The best way I always explain that is you have to make sure you follow a certain natural speed. Now, what do we understand by natural speed? Natural speed simply means the speed at which you speak your mother tongue. So, whichever other language that you guys speak at home with your friends and family, any other language that other than English, whatever speed you follow in that particular language is pretty much the kind of speed that you need to follow when you speak English, because that tells me that you would be comfortable, you would be fluent, and you would be able to maintain your pronunciation if you follow that particular speed. Now, see, right now, the speed that I am speaking with you guys, this is my natural speed. Your natural speed might be slightly different to me, and that's absolutely fine. Everybody will have a certain different set of speeds. So, you do you pretty much. But yes, making sure it's because it's directly proportional to your pronunciation. So, we have to make sure that we are following a certain speed with which we can also maintain our pronunciation. The words are sounding very clear, because I've seen many people out there, what they do is they speak very quickly. And when they speak quickly, they may sound fluent, but their words are not being pronounced properly. Like a computer can't understand their words properly after that. And that impacts their pronunciation scores. And the thing with that is, if your pronunciation goes down, your fluency will not be enough, like sufficient to give you marks towards your speaking and other sections, reading and listening as well. So making sure maintaining a natural speed is the main thing. Next one, long pauses or fillers. Now, I'm not saying you can't take pauses, okay? You absolutely can take pauses and it is needed. Like, you are not robots or machines, right? Whenever you speak a paragraph in read aloud, whenever you speak a complete describe image for 30 plus seconds, retell lecture for 30 plus seconds, you can't have the complete answer without any pauses in between. It's just not humanly possible. You will absolutely run out of breath. But you have to make sure you are not just waiting there for 2, 3, 4 seconds and then speaking on the next sentence. That's too long of a pause. Pause is barely a second pause, that's all. Everybody's, again, is going to be different depending on what speed you follow. But all I'm trying to say is, please make sure you're not just taking an extended length of a pause. And at the same time, it's not that you're not taking any pauses at all. Pauses are absolutely needed. And the best places to take pauses would be your punctuations, any sort of commas, full stops, hyphens, all these kind of punctuations, or any sort of connectors, prepositions, and, or, but, though, although. If you see any sort of connectors, it's absolutely okay for you to take a slight pause at those kind of places before those kind of connectors. And then fillers as in when you say, today it may rain, like all these ums that we guys do in, like whenever we speak in our day-to-day life, these kind of errors are what computer classifies as fillers, and it is absolutely important for us to eliminate them when we speak, because if you use these kind of fillers, computer will count them as fluency errors and you will absolutely lose marks towards your speaking section, and that will also impact your marks in reading and listening as well. So avoiding these two. Next is poor pronunciation. Yes, though that goes without saying. Speaking has everything to do with fluency and pronunciation. These two are main pillars. Like one thing is incomplete without the other. If you, like I said earlier, if you speak in a flow, but if you did not pronounce the words correctly, you're pretty much not gaining anything. So making sure the words are pronounced properly, and especially the words which are long words, you need to make sure every single syllable of that word is heard properly. For example, the word is prodigiously. Now, prodigiously means importantly. Now, because it's a big long word, you have to make sure you slow yourself down enough to make sure that the word is sounded like the word when you speak it out sounds very clear. Prodigiously, prodigiously, like that clarity factor is extremely important. So pronouncing every single word correctly, whichever topic you're doing in speaking, is extremely crucial. And that does not matter what sort of pronunciation you follow. If you pronounce a word in an American way of pronunciation, that's also acceptable. And at the same time, if you speak a word with a British pronunciation of that certain word, again, a computer is happy to go with either or. As long as you pronounce the word right, that is what matters, and that is all computer cares about. Next thing, not using intonations. Now, intonations as in having the variations in your voice. Now, you might have heard some assistants like Google Assistant, Siri, Alexa, and all these kind of softwares that when they speak, they sound very robotic, right? Because they are technically robots. But why don't we sound the same when we speak in our native language? Because we are not robots, we are not machines, we are human beings. All I'm trying to say is computer wants to know that the person who is doing that exam, that person is a human being and not a robot. What I'm trying to say is when you speak out something, you need to have those variations in your voice, like taking your voice slightly louder on certain words and slightly lower on certain words, depending on what kind of word is that. If a word is a positive, exciting word, you take your voice louder. And if a word is something which is negative or opposite, like however, like those kind of negative opposite words is when you have to take your voice slightly lower on those. So having those variations in your voice when you speak out a sentence is what is needed when you speak out a response, and that goes for every speaking topic, like your read alouds, repeat sentence, describe image, retell lecture, every topic out there. So that's for intonations. Next one, reading word by word in read aloud. Now this has something to do with your fluency. Again, I've seen people, what they do is when they read out a sentence, they speak word by word. For example, the sentence was, today is a bright sunny day in Adelaide, but it may rain tomorrow. And people say, today is a bright sunny day in Adelaide, but it may rain tomorrow. Now, right now, you might be feeling like that's just illogical. Like, why would somebody say like that? But there are people out there who unintentionally, I'm not saying that deliberately doing this, unintentionally, they speak out the sentences like this without even realizing. And that has a major impact on your fluency, guys. I can tell you that your fluency scores would be drastically reduced if you speak word by word. So that's again another thing that we have to avoid, making sure that we speak out a sentence in a flow. Flow is the main thing. Today is a bright sunny day in Adelaide, but it may rain tomorrow. I'm still taking a pause where it's needed, but when I'm speaking a sentence, I'm not breaking it down word by word, but I'm speaking it like a complete sentence in a proper flow. Next thing, not using templates for describe image or retell lecture. Now see, even after those recent changes those happened, people are scared out there that we can't use the templates anymore. Guys, that is not the case. Me and Mohit ourselves have tested our templates in the actual exam after the changes happened. So many of our students give exam on a daily basis and they are getting their 79 plus, 85 plus, even a perfect 90 or 90 using the exact same templates that we have been using. Yes, we have made few amendments as well. So we're talking about the new updated templates. I'll be putting the link for those templates in the description box. You can simply download them and keep it handy, and they absolutely work. All you need to keep in mind is you're using the templates properly. That's all. Like you're not just speaking out the template and that's it. Like you still need to speak a lot of content in that, I can tell you that. But as long as you follow the template and as long as you're giving appropriate content, the one that we suggest, it is absolutely okay for you to still use a template. Even if your exam is being flagged by a human and a human being is checking your responses, the content part, they're still not going to deduct any marks for you, provided if you have used the templates in a proper, appropriate way. So like I said, I'll be linking them down in the description. Feel free to use them. They absolutely work. But also understand the way we have to use them by watching other videos for those certain topics, which we uploaded after those changes happened. Now, incorrect mic position. Like, I just can't stress this enough. Mic position pretty much makes or breaks your exam. Like, it decides would you be getting your desired scores or not. It's as simple as that. Doesn't matter how great of an English speaker you are, doesn't matter how fluent you are, doesn't matter how much clear you speak when you pronounce the words, everything will be overshadowed if you do not keep the mic at the right position. Remember, it's a computer based exam, and a computer's software is going to assess your responses. And they're only going to listen to your answers once. They're not going to listen to it multiple times for them to understand what you just said. No, they only listen to it once, gives you marks on the basis of that, and move on. That's why you get results so quickly, 1 to 2 days. What we do in mic position is, and everybody's mic position is going to be different. Again, I would be linking another video down in the description which you can watch right after this one to understand mic position in detail. But all you have to keep in mind is, like I said, everybody's mic position is going to be different, and we absolutely have to make sure that we keep it at the right position. No breathing sounds should be recorded, like when we breathe in or breathe out, those kind of sounds need to be eliminated. Plus, making sure that when we are speaking, our words are sounding and getting recorded very clearly. Remember, in the exam, you would be sitting with another 10 to 12 people who are also doing speaking at the same time. So there would be some background noises also which would be going on. But keeping those aside, yes, we absolutely have to make sure our own breathing sounds are not being recorded, plus the words are sounding very clear. And you can absolutely understand yourself loud and clear. It's not that you can barely hear yourself, because if you can barely understand yourself, just trust the computer that even a computer would not be able to understand you properly. So, and you get that chance at the very beginning of the exam, before even the read aloud starts. You get this screen which is mic position check, and you have got some time. Now, there's no timer, by the way, on the screen, but it's not that they will push you to move on to the next screen. There's no timer on the screen. You can take 1 to 2 minutes if you want to be absolute sure of the mic position, the place at which you're putting your mic. Once you're absolutely happy, you've heard yourself and it is sounding loud and clear, no breathing sounds, like minimum background noises of other people. Like, you can't eliminate it completely, but minimum is what you would be targeting for. That means you have kept the mic at the right position. So that's just a brief of that. But like I said, I'm linking a video in the description. Watch that just to understand mic position in a lot more detail. Next one, speaking irrelevant templates. Now, I did say earlier that you are absolutely okay to use the templates that we are providing, because we have updated them, we have tested them in the actual exam. Me and Mohit have got our perfect 90s. Students are getting this 79 plus 90s. So those templates work. I can't say for all the other templates out there, but if you are speaking a template which is not relevant anymore, which would be flagged by a computer, especially the ones which have got those repeated generic keywords. I can see this, I can see that, we can see this, we can see that, also this, also this, also that. Like, this is a beautiful picture in front of me. Like, all those kind of templates which used to work earlier, kind of, they are absolutely getting flagged by a computer now. So not just those are just basic examples that I've given you, but so many of the other templates are also getting banned and they're not getting accepted by a computer, and a human being is assigned. And once a human being is assigned, they're going to listen to your content, not the fluency, not the pronunciation, not the accent, none of the other things, but the actual content. And if they feel that you have memorized a template and you're speaking the same thing over and over and having minimum impact on the actual content, they will reduce your marks to a point that if they find if all you have done is speak a template and no content created by yourself on the spot, they can even give you a complete zero in the content. And once you get zero in content, game over. Like, for that particular question, you get a complete zero. Even if you were fluent, even if you pronounce all the words correctly, you still get a complete zero for that question. So please make sure the templates that you are using, they're absolutely acceptable. If you are already taking coaching with someone, ask them, ask your tutors that the templates that they are providing, are they working or not? Have they themselves given the exam and got a perfect 90 by using those templates? Have those kind of data and information, and then only utilize these templates. Remember, you're paying a lot of money, you're investing a lot of time preparing for this exam. You don't want to jeopardize all that just by using some irrelevant templates that will not give you any marks in the exam. So that's what you guys would have to do. Another thing is practicing answer short questions. Now, see, when I said earlier that 4 topics of your speaking, I did not unintentionally skip the 5th topic. This topic exists, answer short questions. but it is absolutely not an important one. And I've seen people practicing this topic every single day for half an hour, for even an hour every day. Guys, it's not needed. This is one such topic and only one such topic in the exam where you do get couple of marks, but they, even if you give the wrong answer to these questions, computer will not deduct any marks at all for you. Like if they ask you a question, how many months are there in a year? You say 12 months, correct. If you were unsure of the correct answer and if you end up saying 15 months, even though you gave the wrong response, but as long as you spoke something in English, you will still get a full mark. So this topic just does not make any sense if you think about it. Like even if you're giving wrong answers, you're getting marks, provided you're speaking something. You can't skip them entirely, otherwise you will lose marks. If you speak something in English, you get a full score. So that should be a clear indication that I should absolutely not be preparing this particular task, because why would I? Like if I have got extra half an hour in a day, I would rather practice more read alouds, more repeat sentences, more describe images, more retell lectures, because those are the topics which matter and give me a lot of marks, and also are somewhat like are something which I absolutely need to work on, work hard, practice every day to get the content right. So those topics are the ones which I should be investing my time in, not the topics like answer short questions. And finally, not practicing with a timer. Now, again, I've seen many people, what they do is, especially for describe image and retell lectures, they keep practicing every single day and they're doing like 20 describe images, 20 retell lectures, even more than that or a bit less than that. But they're not worrying about the timer. Like they're just looking at the image, preparing for it as long as they want, and then speaking for it as long as they can speak out. And that is something which you guys need to understand, that in the exam, every single thing is timed. For every describe image, they're giving you only 25 seconds to prepare. So when you practice, if you're new, for the first couple of days, you can get away without a timer. But just after a couple of days, get in the habit of using a timer, because you also need to make sure that you only prepare for an image in 25 seconds. Like I've seen people preparing for an image for 1 to 2 minutes. You may be performing well when you take that much time to prepare, but in the exam, you will not have that much time, that much liberty. So only prepare for 25 seconds. And when it comes to speaking your answer, again, you have to make sure you speak above 30 seconds, but less than 40 seconds. I've seen many people speaking for 20-25 seconds. Guys, that will not work anymore after the changes. We need to speak above 30 seconds as per the Pearson's guidelines. And second thing is, we can't keep speaking for more than 40 seconds, because if you keep speaking for 40 seconds or above, computer will automatically cut you off in the actual exam. And if that happens, doesn't matter how great of a response you give, you will still lose marks, because according to a computer, you gave an incomplete response because you kept speaking for more than 40 seconds and computer had to cut you off. So these kind of backend things you need to understand how the actual scoring works, so that now after knowing these things, please make sure you keep a timer in front of you. If you're using any website to practice, use the timers. If not, have a stopwatch on your phones or timers or something, countdowns, so that you know exactly how many seconds you have, how many seconds are you speaking for. And the moment you see the clock running towards 40 seconds, you need to finish speaking your answer. Only then you would be getting a full score. So guys, this is all that I wanted to share in this particular video. And like I said, if you need help and support with your PTE exams, academic or core, contact us. The way we help our students, and you see so many of the testimonies we upload on a daily basis and people getting their 79 plus, 85, 90, 65 is purely because of that one-on-one feedback that we give, me and Mohit personally. So what we do is we use Telegram platform, and we have created a personal Telegram group for every single student. For example, if your name is Jasmine, we'll create a Telegram group by the name of Jasmine PTE. Now, it's not a group with 100, 150, 200 students in one and everybody is practicing with themselves, like not that kind of crowd. What we do is every person has got their personal group. Jasmine PT will have 3 people in that. Jasmine, me, and Mohit. That's all. Only 3, no other student. And that is the personal space for that particular student, for them to take feedback from us every single day. Think about it. There's no other student in that group, and you're personally connected with both of us all 7 days a week, all 365 days a year. how great would that be for you to take feedback? Because you know there's no other student listening to you, judging you, listening to your responses, passing on their feedback, sharing your audios and stuff with others. None of those things would happen because it's only you, me, and Mohit. And that's why our students are comfortable taking feedback from us, because they know there's no other student listening to them. And they practice hard, they take feedback every single day. They send their work to us. If it's speaking topics, they send their audios recorded to us so that we can listen and give feedback. If it's any writing tasks or reading tasks, they take pictures or screenshots of their questions or of their practice and send it to us. We check that every single day, give feedback on their performance every single day, identify the errors, the mistakes that they do. Tell them that these are your mistakes and this is how you need to improve. They work on that again, implement the feedback, and that's how they prepare. And once we feel confident after looking at their performance that yes, the student is absolutely ready to sit for their exam, that is when we ask them to book their exam. So it's not like you give exam 10, 15, 20 times, do hit and trial, and then sit for an exam. We advise you on the basis of our experience when we feel you would be ready to get your desired score, whatever you need. So if you need that sort of support, always, we are always there for you. Contact us on WhatsApp, message us. Admin would be there, chat with them, talk to us on phone. We'll make a plan with you and we'll help you to clear these exams in your very first attempt. Guys, all the best if you have got your exams coming soon. I wish you all the luck. Stay safe wherever you are, and I will see you all in the very next video.